Welcome to Jack of All Trades 505. I'm Joseph, and in this video I did go ahead and attempted to redraw a drawing that I had done in 2009-2010 when I was in the Army. This was again a freehand drawing, just to test my skills and see how far I've come in the last decade. I will go into some details as to what my process is and how I achieve the final drawing. So again, I hope you appreciate it and enjoy. So in this video, as you can see, I have again using the proportional divider. Now, even though I do state that this was a freehand drawing, for myself, the use of proportional divider isn't necessarily a well, it's not the same as, say, using a light box or the projector or the grid method even, because basically the grids, you're with the grid method, you're drawing small boxes and lining those boxes up next to each other, and they pretty much fit together. That's pretty much how the grid method works. With the proportional divider, you don't have any grids. You're not, like, nothing's preset. You have to take reference points and then decide how those reference points play off of each other. The angles at which the shoulders, the angle of the face, the head. So again, you're still very much having to draw, even though this proportional divider does make things a little bit easier. And at some point you will notice in the video that I actually tend to draw a little more freehand, and then so I'll draw out the arm or the leg or whatever, and then I will use the proportional divider just to verify that I am seeing these images correctly, that the proportions are of what I see in my mind and what I see on paper are corresponding. So again, the proportional divider is a great tool. If you can find them online on Amazon or eBay for about $7. So they're a really great tool. Here I drew out the initial outline in 5H pencil, which was the lightest pencil that I could start off with. It doesn't smudge because it's such a hard graphite. It doesn't really smudge when you're drawing, so that's why I do like starting off with the 5H. And then again, like I said in my other videos, I like to build up the tones gradually, working from light to dark, and I will eventually switch up to some other grades of pencil. Again, I like to use 3 different types of graphite: 5H, HB, and 6B, just because with those 3 pencils, depending on how much pressure you apply, you're able to achieve pretty much the full range of shades from light to dark with just those 3 pencils. So if worst comes to worst and you have to make sure to buy 3 pencils, those are the 3 I would suggest. Again, here in the video, you'll see I did change camera angles to try to get the best angle that I could. The other angle, my hand was in the way a lot, but it was a close-up and you could actually see the line work. As you can tell from this angle, it's a little bit farther away, and the line work that was created is really, really hard to make out. So, but as I begin to build up the shadows, it starts to become more clear. You get to see the development of the face, and really that's where most of your detail is going to come in, is in the shading. I do switch back and forth between the 5H and HB. I did use a 6B for the eyes and the nostrils, and for the little corners of the mouth, which were the darkest parts. Then I went back to my HB to fill in some of the shadows. At this point in the video, you'll see that I'm actually darkening in the hair, and I did use the charcoal pencil for that portion, just because it's blacker than black and it doesn't have this shine the same way that graphite tends to be shiny. So I do like using graphite and charcoal together. It gives it a really nice effect. Again, like I mentioned in my other videos, I do like to blend out a lot with brushes and the smudge sticks or blending stumps. It just gives a more smooth, subtle transition than trying to, block it in with the pencil. Sometimes the pencil can leave little pencil marks on the paper, which can be kind of difficult to blend out depending on how much pressure used to apply the pencil. Again, that's why I do like to a lot of times draw on a separate piece of paper and then pick up the graphite or charcoal with the blending stump or with the brush on the other piece of paper, and then transfer it to this piece of paper. Again, here, like I said, I've said before in my other videos, you want to really just concentrate on lights and darks. Remember, the whitest parts of this, the only parts that really have any true white left in them, there's some areas in the blanket that you'll notice later that don't receive any type of shading, and just the brightest parts of the highlights in her legs, her shoulders, and her arms. Again, we don't put any graphite there. It's negative space. It's negative space essentially, to get, to give that illusion, so you don't have to go back in and erase or add a white highlighter or try to bring it out with white color pencil. Just don't draw over the areas that need to be white. Pretty simple. Again, just concentrating on saturation, concentrate on not stopping and starting, especially when using the blender. Try to use circular motions. This will help you from getting those start and stop points in your strokes, which again is the whole idea, is to try to minimize the pencil markings. Here I've gone back to the charcoal pencil and darkened in the darkest blocks or shapes in the hair, and eventually just go from there, from the dark parts as they blend out to light. Always keep your pencil going in the direction of the hair. Longer hairs, try to keep the strokes as long as possible to avoid the choppiness. Now, at this point in the video, there was some missing footage, about half an hour or so, that the phone didn't record. So there's you will notice that the chest, there's quite a bit of shading to the chest, and there was a large portion of hair that was shaded in during that portion of lost footage. So I do apologize about that. Here I did change the position of my second camera. On the other side, you couldn't see anything past my hand, so I did switch it to the other side, and you can see a lot better detail in what I'm doing. And again, here just getting the darkest parts, blending them out towards the edges, highlights, the midtones, and just trying to make everything smooth and transition. Again, concentrating on everything, not just your subject, but background is important as well. If you don't pay too much attention to your background, or don't at least give it a decent effort, it can take away from your overall drawing. So do try to keep that in mind. The background can be not as important, but still pretty significant to your overall outcome. Here I am reaching the end of the drawing. We made some really good progress. I will mention that I did use a cotton swab for smoothing out a lot of the chest and the legs and the arms. Cotton swab, you can also use a tissue paper as well to blend out these large areas of skin to get the smoothest transition as possible. And here just again went back into the eyes to add more details, mouth, and here just using my mono eraser to erase some of the highlights in the hair, and my kneaded eraser to lighten up some of the chest. So here you'll see that I did sign it, and that was the end of the drawing. So thanks again for watching. This is a photo of the original picture I drew back in 2009 and the finished product, or the new drawing that I just finished. Hope you like it, and thanks for watching. Well, thank you for watching my video. Again, I am in the process of trying to create this YouTube channel. Right now, these videos are going to be primarily art videos. Eventually, I do plan on doing some other type stuff, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. But again, thank you for everything, and if you like this video, please subscribe, like, and share it so other people can enjoy it as well. All right, thanks, bye.